Witajki. Itam existe good day. It is just about noon o'clock on Moon Day, June 10th, I think. 2019. Yeah, it's June 10th. In the lunar cycle Apis Tishkitsatos, the flower moon. And I've just been pretty much hanging out on the Cooley Rim last couple of hours. Moved to Skunk earlier this morning and then parked myself on the Cooley Rim with my laptop, hoping to finish off the short essay that I'm writing for the Old Man Watershed Council's upcoming coffee table book. I'm just doing a little bit on rattlesnakes in Lethbridge, of course. And it's only got to be like, 500 to 900 words or something, right? So I'm really beating myself up a couple of weeks trying to do such a short essay, 2 pages. I should be able to whip that out in a day. But no. I probably got 2 paragraphs left, but I'm really anal and I go back through and I'm reading, proofreading, and instead of just getting my first draft done. And it was due, the first draft was due to be submitted by the 31st of May, so I'm a little bit behind. Any case, I am on the road now because I got a call from Wilson Middle School on the north end of town. They have a fledgling crow that is in some kind of situation, being maybe abused by some students, but it seems to be injured in the leg in some way because the principal, I think is who I talked to, said the bird is falling over on its back, and that is a defense posture for crows, but we'll go look at it. We'll go see whether it's actually injured or it needs help or whether it's just another fledgling. This is the season of fledglings, peoples. I'm getting 2 and 3 notifications a day, either by way of Facebook page or by phone calls and this kind of thing. In fact, just yesterday I was out at another house being called in on fledgling magpies and crows. Mostly magpies at this point, but it's going to switch to crows. And if they're just on the ground in your backyard, and they seem like they can't fly, that's okay. That's what the fledgling period is like, and this is normal. It's when they're dragging a limp wing or hopping around on just one leg that we have an issue maybe, and we need to go in and look at it. But for the most part, I'm getting calls for just fledglings that are just out of the nest maybe that day or the day before, and they haven't got their wings yet. So in those situations, there's no reason to pick up the bird or do anything. You just let it be. If you have cats or dogs, try to, you can keep them away for a day or 2. Do a little bit of labor of love for nature, and yeah. So fledgling season. No need to rescue fledglings that are there being taken care of by their parents, even if they're on the ground. That's the message. So, but we're gonna go see about this crow, what's going on there, and I'll talk about other things on the way. Snakes. Where's all my snakes? Inquiring minds want to know. No, I was at Riverstone at a street party a couple of nights ago. They invited me. It was cool. When I got there, I realized, that I was among a select group of community service representatives that were invited. So it was like myself, the fire department, and the police. And that's pretty cool. I like getting lumped in with the heroes, I don't mind, even though I'm not necessarily a hero. Well, maybe for the snakes and some of the animals. But any case, yeah, what's going on with my snakes? It's hard to say. It's been a slow start to the season for sure. I'm not getting many calls calls that are coming are mostly bull snake calls, and mostly on days when I've like retreated to the mountains, or I just happen to be deep in the coulees and can't fetch that call. I did get a rattlesnake call over the weekend for one that had been bumped down in Popson Park. There was a group there. They were having some kind of events where they were celebrating like twins and what would you call them, triplets, you know. And so they were having kind of a barbecue and stuff down there. Somebody accidentally bumped a rattlesnake with their vehicle, and so I figured it was going to be a dying or dead snake situation. But when I arrived there, I found actually the snake had moved on its own accord, and so I figured that was a good sign. And the people who'd called me in were very pleased to see me. Wanted to take a couple of selfies and all that. That was cool too. But yeah, I haven't had too much going on the snaky end of things. And the weather's been kind of shifty and shady too, so we'll see what goes on. I kind of hope something goes on today, because there is someone in town here from the Canadian Press who's been building a story up on me, and he'd like to film one of my residential calls, but so far has had no luck. Not that I haven't been able to show him snakes and stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on the snake front. It's just quiet, and I can't really explain it, but that's what's happening. Hey. We're gonna bring him around.
Sounds good, thank you. Okay, thanks. Goodbye. Guys, I asked you not to pick it up.
Might be, but I don't know why his shields are still up. Oh, he's starting to relax, I think, on one. Let's see.
Oh
Turn
yeah.
his head slowly.
Yeah, I can see his eye.
He could,
Yes,
he could have
okay.
eye injuries.
It's
Or he
okay.
could have
Okay,
eye
buddy.
problems.
You're okay.
Yeah,
He's relaxing a little.
he
It's okay,
shouldn't
bud.
have that shield staying over his eye like that. Hey.
There were ants on him, and there's probably
Like
Yeah,
billions of them
they-
biting at his eye.
The ants could have found him and destroyed him.
And killed him.
It's so terrible.
So sad. Nature is so mean.
It's okay.
It's okay, buddy. You're alright. Hey, it's okay. He's slowly showing his eyes, so that's a good sign. Yeah, that's a good sign.
Except not his other eye, though.
Well, I think
okay, buddy.
what I'll probably do is take him along and kind of monitor him, take care of him for a day, see how he's doing.
Sure.
Well, the mom
And then
was somewhere.
if I can get him back to normal and his
Mom was
eyes
there.
come clear, I'll bring him back here
It's
and
okay, but
reintroduce him to his
stupid
family.
ant.
That sounds good.
But right now he
It's okay,
looks like he's
buddy.
having a problem.
He's
Yeah.
got an ant in his mouth. I think that's
Yeah.
why his mouth is still open. He's got one in his mouth.
Well, that'll be
Oh, hell
okay.
yeah.
That ant will be gone pretty soon.
Alright
Might
then.
swallow it.
But he does have weird things going on in his mouth too. There's discolorations and things. So.
Yeah.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Okay, guys, you did good.
Yep.
Time to go to class.
Bye, buddy.
Right on. Most of what's been going on the past week or so with me has involved small mammals, and really small mammals. Remember, I caught that one skunk baby at the trailer park, I think in my last video that I posted. Well, the day after that, I caught 7 more. There were 4 inside of one of my traps, and 3 just roaming around on the lawn, and I went around and picked them up. So I was suddenly in possession of 7 skunk babies. I tried for the next 2 nights to catch their mom, and I retained the babies. Actually, the next, I think, 3 nights. And yeah, retaining their babies, was unable to catch the mom. I don't know, maybe something's happened to her, and that's why her babies were kind of early out there roaming by themselves. It's a possibility, but yeah, wasn't able to catch her. Meanwhile, the baby skunks are in kind of a safe house. You know, I'm slowly developing a network of nature-loving peoples who are willing to kind of bend rules when need be to do what has to be done to help some of these animals that are in dire situations. So I have someone like that right now, who, when she saw the story of Anya the raccoon, who actually I already had some help set up with, but she volunteered and said, hey, I have a house that you could use for temporary facilities for some of these animals that are, you know, in transition. And so I've been using her place slowly, because I really can't bring them to Mahoney's house so much anymore. Things there are not right now very good. But yeah, I have these 7 babies, and now I gotta find places for them, which means I need to adopt them into existing skunk families that already have babies elsewhere in town and are positioned at residences where the human occupants are okay with them being there. I have one site already. You saw the release in the previous video of the skunk at that one site, and I think I'll probably release 1 or 2 more there, but I need to find a couple of other houses as well to do this at. So if you live in Lethbridge and you are the occupant of a home that has a skunk nest that you're okay with, let me know, and I wouldn't mind introducing a couple of more skunk babies. For that matter, by the way, and I'm just here at one of the residences where I'm going to be setting up a skunk trap. I'm kind of walking in as I'm talking. They said that there's skunks moving, you know, in and out under their deck, or under their shed here. Several different holes around the shed where they come and go from. So I think I'll set up the trap kind of right on the side here next to this hole, and yeah, that's what we'll do, set up a trap right there. But I wanted to tell you also about another project with baby mammals. This one is coyotes. Now it comes from a wildlife rehab up north. I think the Cochrane Ecological Society, maybe. I might not be getting that right, but up north there is a group who has been working with coyote pups over the past 5 years and testing this new, experimenting with this new introduction of pups into existing packs where there's pups. And they've been monitoring the pups that they introduce, and so far that they've had complete success having them adopted into new packs. And so right now they've got 6 or 7 coyote pups up there as well, and they're looking for existing packs to adopt them into. I put out the word on the Rattlesnakes at Lethbridge Facebook page the other day about it, last night I think, and I've got a couple of good leads on local coyote packs. So if I can find those dens, and I'll probably go out looking tonight, if I can find those dens, then they're gonna bring down some coyote pups, and we're gonna do a reintroduction here, and that'll be cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna set this trap up, and then we'll see where the day goes from there. I think I got to run to the west side, and I know I got to run to the west side because I'm meeting Chelsea to work out at the new gym. I'm not allowed to take cameras in there, but maybe I'll cheat. We'll see. Oh, my poly boy, my poly boy. Back at the apartment now, in Oscar's little nook. I'm probably in for the evening, unless I get a rattlesnake call, but I'm not really expecting anything. And I figure I'll save the coyote hunt for tomorrow morning. I've got a really good bead on a pack. At least I know the coulee slope where trail runners have identified as that's where they're always seeing the members of this pack. They believe there's a den there, and they have pups. So if I can get a confirmation in the morning when there's less human traffic, like it's been a really nice day and the coulees are just full of people right now. If I go early in the morning and I get a confirmation of pups, and if I see the pups, I know I can watch them to where they go to the den, so I'll know where the den is. Then we should be able to have some coyote pups reintroduced here. That'll be pretty neat. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm going to be here for the evening. Chelsea's out at the playground with the kids right now, but they'll be coming home soon, and then I think we're watching a hockey game. It's either hockey or basketball. I don't know. Toronto's playing. No, Chelsea really likes hockey and basketball, and I'm not sure what we're watching tonight, but one of her games is on, so we're going to check it out, and I'm going to be probably editing some video on the side and taking care of little Shadow Crow, as those kids named this crow Shadow. So my goal with this little baby crow here is to get him, and I don't know if you can even see him here, he's just hidden in the shadows. I'll pull him out in a second, but my goal with him is to get him fed and fledged and back out there where he's not going to be being eaten by ants. But I'm a little bit concerned with him because he's spending a lot of time sitting on his butt with his feet almost, in the air here, and he's had problems keeping his balance. I'm not really sure. Well, it could just be that he's just too much of a hatchling yet and isn't standing yet. But there's also the possibility that he could have the same kind of deformation that Oscar has. Oscar, who's right now hidden in his cave. Hey, Oscar. But you guys have met Oscar before. Oscar has a deformity where basically his legs are shaped like this. He has very little, he just has very little use of his hands, and he has to walk on his, essentially like his elbows, I guess. Yeah, so this guy is kind of struggling with the use of his legs and feet. It may just be because he's too young a hatchling, or it may be because he's got problems, other problems, and those kind of problems usually come from malnourishment way early on in the egg's development even. But we're going to nourish this guy and see if he actually can get to a point where he can walk around and take flight and stuff. He has pretty good, I can feel pretty good sense on his claws. His eyes are not great yet. He's still got problems from the ant attack. He's still got, looks like some kind of white, either, I don't know, it looks like maybe blister or something in his mouth. There's something white, and I don't know, hope that's not any kind of fungus or disease or anything. Yeah, that's interesting to consider. I definitely don't want to get Oscar sick, taking in a crow fledgling that has a fungus in his mouth or something. But hey, yeah, open up. We gotta feed you. We gotta feed you some kibbles. Yeah. So right now I'm just feeding him a wet, high protein puppy kibble. Something that I've soaked while I was out the last little bit. I went out to the coulee rim again, by the way, and finished my paper that I've been working on. Got my draft done. Probably go through it one more time in the morning. you know, as you do before I email it off to them. It's just a draft anyway. I don't know, half of me likes it and half of me really doesn't, but if I go with it, whatever I go with, I'll end up reading at some point. Alright, you've had a little bit to eat now, buddy. Shadow. Set you down here. Yeah, don't be mad. Don't be mad. A little more kibble in the water. So yeah, in for the evening, unless anything else happens, and if there's anything exciting, of course, I got my camera, I'll put it on, but I'm not expecting much more today. In fact, it was almost, I guess, a dud day dragging around the camera for not a whole lot of wildlife shot, but at least you get an update, you know.